Hey, this is Notser, and this is the Tier 9 American Battleship, Iowa. She has 79,000 health, a top speed of 34.6 knots, 9 406mm guns, 20 secondary guns, a surface detect of 12.2 kilometers, and 95 AA defense rating. For my modules, reduced crit chance on main armament, improved turret traverse, improved main battery accuracy, reduce the chance of flood and fire, faster rudder shift, concealment. For my commander, basic firing training, basic survivability, expert marksman, superintendent, advanced firing training, and concealment again. We are on the map Tears of the Desert, and it's Epicenter. Now, for many of you, just like me, Epicenter just creates a really awkward gameplay where you find yourself sitting behind the islands and waiting for the enemy to make a mistake. Be impatient. Well, that's not exactly how this is going to go. The Iowa, and specifically my build in the Iowa, is one of concealment, fast turret traverse, accuracy. So I look to try and exploit any opponent that might show too much side, overextend, and it doesn't matter what class. Now, we're already detected right off the bat, so there's an enemy destroyer that's fairly close to us, within the sphere of detectability on the minimap right now. It was a little concerning to me that there was someone that close, and I was just trying to get over to the island before an enemy ship, maybe a battleship, decided to fire on me. And if we can work our way around the island, we can figure out a general area that the destroyer might be. And that's what I intend to do. Now, my team has chosen not to go for the center cap. At least the destroyers. It would be suicidal for the cruisers or the battleships to go for that, but destroyers can and have plenty of time, just like the enemy is doing right now. So as we work our way around the island, I expect to be detected. And there we are. So we just broke, and you can see on the minimap where I sort of move my cursor, it must be somewhere around the E area, E6. That's where I felt like the enemy destroyer might be. So I decided to fire on an enemy cruiser that is headed towards us for whatever reason. I don't know why the Eugen is moving forward. Oh, by the way, I understand that there are people who watch my stream and they don't want to rewatch the same video that they've seen on the stream. So what I'm going to try and do, if I have time, is to make sure I have a unique recording for YouTube versus the stream itself. Now, sometimes for Untitled or something else, maybe I'm talking about the British cruiser line and how terrible it is, I'm not going to gather brand new material for that. I'm just going to talk over material that's already existed, either from YouTube video recording or from the stream itself. So I just want to let you know, and we ran into some friends accidentally. The Eugen predictably taking a ton of damage, and there's the destroyer. You see the destroyer on the minimap? It's a Benson, so I would love to fire on the Benson. The turrets are traversing, enemy fires on our ship, we show a little bit too much of our side. That is unfortunate, but I lead the Benson in the direction he's headed, and we get 5,000 points of damage, and nope, we run into another friendly battleship. They're everywhere on Epicenter. Everyone hides behind the islands. I was happy about the 5,000 we did. Obviously, it isn't enough to kill him, so we still have to work towards that. Enemy Amagi, oily discharges. That's just a great name, right? That makes me think of so many great things. Not so gross. Ugh. He's setting up somewhere in the back. Not really a priority. This enemy cruiser is the priority. And it looks like we'll actually be able to lead the target in the direction they're headed. So I sort of elevate the gun and fire, hoping to get a good citadel on him. And we did pretty good damage, I'd say. 7,000 points of damage. A friendly did citadel him, and I think it was the New Orleans in front of me. We've got a couple more friendlies, but this is basically the far west flank of my team. And you know me, I don't like to sit and wait. I want to make plays. I want to do something for the team. I don't want this cruiser to get away. So What am I going to do? I'm going to try and lead him in the right direction. Elevate the gun. Make sure I can confirm there's no way that my shell is going to hit the island, and I fire. The elevation, you have to gauge how they are angled. And it looks good as it's going down. Oh, yeah. Yeah, a Citadel is good, Notser. I would say that's a good shot. And we finish them off. 9,000, give or take. Most of the enemy battleships are just hiding behind their islands. And I'm going to try and work on a cruiser or two, preventing most of the enemy from engaging me. And I was expecting an island to be run into here. The Pensacola is very close to it. I was sort of waiting to see if he ever would pause. And if he did, I would fire. But clearly, he is safely past the island. So I lead him in the direction he's headed. It is dangerous being this far away. But I'm not someone who wants to just wait for things to happen. We get only one shell to disperse. We got lucky. The main aim point was incorrect. And it does 4,400 points of damage. Enemy Iowa is pushing forward. Friendly Bismarck is right there. I don't really want to cross over each other and cause a collision, so I drop my speed. Der Grosse, he is trying to fire on us as well. We have to maintain good angling, otherwise we're going to take big broadsides. But the combination of avoiding the Bismarck and changing my angle slightly didn't even have to worry about the shell hitting me. Wasn't even close. Of course it was close, but we're still alive. Friendly Bismarck is a little bold. He's pushing forward. That enemy Iowa not really showing enough side for me to feel comfortable, but it is a threat. We do 9,300, which is adequate, I'd say. And I'm trying to decide, should I go forward? I don't think I should go forward. This is too dangerous, Bismarck. I know what you're looking to do, but I wouldn't do it right now. We don't have a ship advantage. It's still really early. And we don't have good angles. We have enemies that can broadside us. I'm just going to continue to fire on the Iowa, and I'm not moving forward. This is where I'm staying. The Bismarck is going to take most of the fire. Thank you, Bismarck. We do pretty good damage, 66,000. Not 60,000, but 6,000 points of damage. The Bismarck is about to get a broadside, and I'm salivating as well. I'm going, oh, show your broadside, Mr. Iowa. Don't even. And he takes a big shot. Oh, I want to kill him so bad. I'm going to fire over my friendly. Yep, we fire over the friendly, and the friendly takes him out. It looks cool. We didn't hit the friendly, but he's probably going to die. He's just so low. I mean, yeah, he dies to the Der Grosse. Whiskey Drinker, 89. We return the favor with a 9,000 point damaging shot. Not bad, but I need to re-angle against him. Here comes the secondaries. Anytime you're fighting a German battleship, you can bet they're using manual secondaries and maximum secondary range. It's just a rainbow of shells. And we fire. We get not as good as I would like. Only 3 shells make contact. 1 ricochets off harmlessly. And I re-angle against the target. He decides to not fire on me, I believe. He fires on the battleship behind me. Perhaps its angling was better. More appropriate for the AP that he was clearly firing. Well, I don't want you to change your angle. I want you to show just that much. And that's the real risk of being forward in a battleship. We hit not as much as I would have liked. 7,400. Torpedo makes contact. That's great. But when you're retreating like this, you are just open to so much damage. I put out the fires. I felt like they were just too much. We had to try and salvage some health for later. It's still a really close game. This guy's gonna die, though. I mean, Whiskey Drinker, you're gonna go get a glass of whiskey because you're not needed in this game anymore. We fire at the superstructure and we get 8,500. Not enough to kill him, but maybe one of our allies could finish him off. We get someone fire again. Secondaries are going off. I try an angle. It's okay angle. Good, he's dead now. And Mr. Baltimore, what are you doing? You might be showing a little bit too much side, Mr. Baltimore. There's also an enemy Pensacola that is basically stationary and broadside. So I rotate my guns, and I lead him just slightly forward, thinking he might try and hide behind the island. And it's a waterline shot. Come on, give me a citadel. Friendly sends torpedoes. Oh, that's great. We don't get the citadel, but we do earn Confederate. Thankfully, the torpedoes, they don't go the full distance. They're not going to cause any issues here. So now we can push forward. Oh, look at what we've got here. The Benson. What an intriguing specimen. He probably was like, dang it, Iowa, I almost got out of here. So as he turns, I'm going to hold my fire until I feel like he's going to continue rotating. He sort of stops. We get lucky with one shell that does 3,700. I have my back gun ready to go. I fire it, but I think I missed him. Yeah, I missed him. Friendly, thankfully, the Gennadizer now is able to land the shot and take the target out. But we're dropping dangerously low. It's really dangerous if I were to try and go after the Baltimore and show too much side, because if there's one thing I know, the U.S. cruiser will devastate you in close quarters with AP if you're broadside. You have to be very careful. Don't underestimate the power of the dark side. You have to be careful. They are so ready to citadel you, and he knows I'm here. We're obviously detected, although there's nothing on my minimap that would say so, so it must be a destroyer. And all I want to do is sort of go as slow as possible, change the speed, force the Baltimore to change its angling slightly. A little bit more effect for my team than for him. And we sort of drop in and drop out. I think it's a combination of the destroyer, the enemy destroyer, not being in line of sight, and I try to just double confirm, no, we cannot fire over those islands. If you want to move your view, press C. It will reposition your aim point over one of your turrets. It's a really effective way to peer around islands and know exactly what angle you're going to have on each turret. But as he moves around, there's an enemy smoke that was left up from that Benson, and I'm more than happy to get inside of it, hoping that a teammate will scout out the enemy. My aircraft is not ready, otherwise I would use that, and yep, sure enough, friendly scouts him out. So I lead him in the direction, going for the superstructure, trying to plunge down into the ship, and I'd say that's about as much damage as I think I could have done. 14,000, 7 shells penetrated, no citadel, but 7 shells did normal penetration damage, and yep, enemy Kagero. I knew you were out there, but do I really want to go after you? There's a Pensacola that might show more side than he's really should be. The enemy destroyer, of course, pops his smoke, as you're supposed to. So, oh, is he over-rotating? Oh, please over-rotate. We fire, knowing that I'm going to be going around the island. The aim looks good. Oh, yes, it is good. 23,000 points of damage done. Friendly torpedoes not going to hit us. Always good to confirm. We are ready to use another heal in a minute. Boy, our health was way low, and now it's at least 50%, if not more, in a minute or two, if we obviously stay healthy. Enemy Amagi's there. I'm just ready to go on the enemy Pensacola. There's no way he's going to get out of this. I fire all guns, probably overkill, but I just want him dead. And that's exactly what we do. We kill the enemy Pensacola. Enemy Amagi is now the only target, other than, of course, the destroyer, that is visible. And his guns are not looking at us at all. So I can safely change my angle. And yeah, let's go kill that oily discharge. Oh, it's just so gross, just thinking about it. Why? Why would you play under that tag? So I fire at the ship, thinking he's either stationary or possibly moving forward. But he is, in fact, moving backwards. So we miss. How could we miss? The target is so close. It's so annoying. Friendly Iowa is going to die, or very close to dying. He's like pushing directly into the Amagi. And honestly, I don't know that I'll have an angle to engage the Amagi. The Scharnhorst is probably the best target, unless of course the enemy destroyer shows up, and he's not going to show up. He doesn't want any of this. They're trying. They're trying to salvage this game. I don't know that the enemy can. We've taken a dominant lead. I pushed forward. I was happy that it was successful. I hate stationary games. We rotated around. And can we continue our dominance? I would really like to kill this guy. He is burning, and the extra health would help, but we miss. He closes the distance and gets inside of the shells. The friendly Iowa is going up against the Amagi. I cannot influence this at all. Unless, of course, I do damage to the friendly, which I would never do that. That's heresy. You don't ever do that. And the center is captured. That means the enemy destroyer is in the center. The two enemy battleships are not anywhere near the center. So we know pretty much where all three of them are. So I fire at the Scharnhorst before he puts the fire out. It could have been a kill secure, but he puts it out and he uses a heal. Friendlies are able to follow up and take the target out. Now, Amagi, you, my friend, are very low health and very gross, of course. I would like to go around the island and just penetrate your massive broadside citadel, because he has to decide, is he going to angle against me or angle against my friend, the friendly battleship that's right on my starboard side? It looks like he's trying to angle against the friendly battleship that's right next to me. So I felt like, I've got this. I'm going to have a broadside. I'm not detected. He has no aircraft in the area. Maybe he's trying to compensate for that, but I don't know how much he can honestly do that. So as we're rotating around, I know he is possibly going to be looking at me. I have to do a quick check to make sure his guns are not pointed at us. Good. Good. Well, we'll be ready to go, and we just make sure our camera is positioned in the correct location. Fire at the waterline and take out the enemy. 12,000. No citadel. Oh, look at there. The enemy destroyer is right on top of his friend. And he's popping his smoke. So there could be torpedoes through this little gap right here between these two islands. Gotta be careful. Gotta be very cautious. I don't want to die in this situation. That would be stupid. And my guns don't look like they're going to be ready before the next island. So we showed as if we were headed to the inside of this island that's just forward of our position. I think I'm going to juke back out. You notice I'm not detected anymore. The last position I was detected, I was sort of positioned directly at the island, looking directly at it. I could choose left or right. He might have guessed that I was going right, but I need to keep him off balanced. Anything to give me an advantage to fire at him, and he, of course, is giving ground. Alright, well, we just need to aim true, let it fly as he tries to compensate for it. It looks good. Oh, it was good. Devastating strike. We take out the remaining enemy ship, and that was pretty fun. I actually enjoyed going all the way around on Epicenter and taking so many targets with me. We got Confederate, devastating strike, 4 kills, 153,000 points of damage done, 2,983 base XP. The Kiev did a great job. The Kagero did a good job for his team as well. Most of the damage, of course, AP. Not really a surprise in a US battleship. Secondaries don't really have the range to rack up that extra damage that you see in a German battleship like the Bismarck. I'm trying to make sure that I complement great play on either team. It does reward you in credits eventually, so try to do that for your fellow players. I hope you enjoyed this game on Tears of the Desert. I hope you have a fantastic day, and I'll catch you next time.